Aw, midakyapi. Shuklikokia imanchiapi naha iuha chante washtea nape chiyuzapi. Huichasha oyanke awati ake midakyapi lila tanyan wahielo. Hello, my name is Kansas Middletent. My Lakota name is Crazy Bronc Rider. Today, I greet you all with a good heart and a virtual handshake. Today, I'm also going to be talking about the significance, meanings, and teachings of hair that were shared and taught to me. And I want to share with you all for others to have compassion, understanding, knowledge, and acceptance for not only natives with long hair, but Native American men, young boys, and young men with their long hair. There are many teachings and practices in tribal cultures that are significant to who we are as Native people. One of the many things that are important to our cultural identity is our hair. Our hair is considered sacred and significant to who we are as individuals, to who we are as our family, and to who we are as our community. For Lakota people, hair holds a sacred place within our culture. Historically, both men and women would grow our hair long and would only cut it during certain times in our life in accordance with traditional protocols. Specifically, hairstyles were even used to convey information about individuals to others. The onset of the boarding school era and decades of assimilationist federal policy, however, has impacted the psyche of indigenous children for generations and has resulted in many outward expressions of Lakota culture being pushed underground. In many tribes, it is believed that a person's long hair represents a strong cultural identity. This strong cultural identity promotes self-esteem, self-respect, a sense of belonging, and a healthy sense of pride. As part of the practice in self-respect, we are taught to take good care of our hair through proper grooming. In preparation for ceremonies, we take great care in the grooming, styling, and ornamenting of our hair. Our hairstyle and our ornamenting are guided by the values of our families and tribe. It is a form of a creative self-expression that reinforces our connection to our family, tribe, the creator, and Mother Earth. Some tribes will use two braids while others use three, the braid having a significant value, which represents the three strands, mind, body, and soul, all connected as one. Women and children will adorn their hair with fur wraps, woolen wraps, feathers, fluffs, and beadwork for traditional warfare, modern day dancing, and traditional ceremonies. A lot of times you see dancers dressed up in regalia with their hair wrapped in a lot of beautiful things. How we relate to our hair is a constant reminder of our connection to to our culture and a distinct worldview grounded in the sacredness of relationships. Traditionally, when braiding a child's hair, it is the beginning of establishing an intimate and nurturing relationship. At powwows, when it is common to see family members and friends brushing and braiding hair for each other. It's a beautiful way to bond and and a powerful way to reinforce the sacredness of relationships. There is a teaching about the symbolism of the braid itself that reaffirms this practice. It is said that a single strand of hair is weak when tugged on. However, when you pull all the hair together in a braid, the hair is strong. This reinforces the value of the family and the tribe, along with our connection to all of creation. Together we are stronger. When I was young, my grandmother told me that we always needed long hair, or we always needed to cut our hair. I found out that many old people were forced to cut their hair when they were carted off to boarding schools. And I'm sure I heard more of this growing up as I got older. When I did get older, I heard more stories and experiences of what it actually meant for those old people to have their hair cut from them. Eventually, we were told, and they were told, that they were cut, that their hair was cut in an effort to strip them of their culture and identity. Cutting their hair was their way of showing dominance over them through forced assimilation. Most of the native children would cry when their hair was cut. The reason why they would cry when their hair was cut was due to the fact that traditionally our hair was only cut during times of sadness, mourning, or new beginnings. So for us, we traditionally, when our hair was cut, our elders thought that something bad would happen and they would cry. These stories are important because because we are taught as children that we don't cut our hair unless we have experienced a significant loss, like the death of a close family member, traumatic event, or significant life change. Tribes have different teachings about the value of hair and how to care for it. In our family, we are taught that our hair is a physical extension of all of our thoughts, prayers, dreams, aspirations, experiences, history, and our memories. When we cut our hair, it represents the end of something that once was and a new beginning. When we do have to cut our hair, it is never thrown away, but rather burned with sage or sweetgrass in a ceremonial way. When our hair is burned, all of our thoughts, prayers, dreams, aspirations, experiences, history, and memories rise to the Creator to be properly taken care of. We are then guided in the direction of our prayers to be answered. Throwing our hair away is a form of personal disrespect. So when my grandmother and my grandfathers had their hair cut off and thrown away, their tears were a deep grief, confusion, helplessness, and shame. It was against everything we had been taught, along with the grieving of the loss of everything that our hair represented. And this culture practice was common in most Native communities. It was easy to recognize when someone in the community was grieving or experiencing a significant change in their life because their long hair was no longer. With our hair embodying so much of who we are, boundaries are important. Touching someone's hair without permission is disrespectful in the Native community. Some even find that asking permission is a form of disrespect, especially with children and elders. This is not something to take personally. This is a way of protecting ourselves from the energy of someone we know nothing about, which makes me want to ask you, does your family or tribe have specific teachings about their hair? We would love to hear and learn from you as well, as everybody has different teachings, different reasonings, and different styles. Thank you for listening to part one of our hair, the teachings, meanings, and the significance of it. Part two will be coming soon. Thank you to everybody that helped make this possible. Huge shout out to the Rapid City area schools. Thank you very much. I'm very appreciative and supportive of everything you have going on. Wopila.